Hello students, in this session I will be covering Annamalai University's Master of Business Administration first year subject Managerial Economics. And in this session I will be covering Unit 5, Lesson 17 to Lesson 20. Unit 5, Profit Management. Lesson 17, Profit Policy and Practice. Profit is necessarily a residual sum. Land, labor, capital are frequently used under contracts whereby they receive a predetermined return. Net profit is a sum over and above the ordinary costs of business, including such contractual outlays. So profits vary from industry to industry and from business to business. Okay, so greater the risk and uncertainty in business or industry, the greater are the profit opportunities. Okay, greater profit opportunities will be there. Also, when the risk goes up, the businessman will be so cautious, should be cautious and ready to take losses. But profit are the ultimate aim of any organization, especially in the private sector, not to survive. Public sector also should aim. Commercial oriented organizations should, on the public sector also will aim for higher profits. The basic function of profit is to provide businessmen with an incentive to produce what consumers want, when and where they want it at the lowest feasible cost. Profit serves three main purposes. The purposes of profit: measure of performance. When the performance is high and the effectiveness is high, there should be having some profit and the business will be successful. That's what measure of performance says. Premium to cover costs of staying in business. So business involves a large amount of capital investment. So apart from meeting the cost of the business, continuing in business requires a good amount of profit from the previous year's business dealings. Ensuring supply of future capital. So profit when accumulated will contributes to the supply of future capital requirements of the organization. So without having profit in the previous years, in the succeeding year will not get enough capital for investment in an organization. So capital is absolutely necessary for continuing in the business. Okay, and making sure enough supply of capital in the succeeding year is required. So these are the things mainly covered in lesson 17. You may ask, what do you mean by profit, what are its purposes, etc. It can be asked from lesson 17. Now to lesson 18, social responsibility of business. So regarding corporate, we used to hear corporate CSR, corporate social responsibility. Okay, so the investors of an organization requires to have productive and operational capacity, and also solvency of enterprise on a sound basis is required by the investor. So that the organization can provide timely, factual and full information on the performance of the enterprise. To safeguard the assets and interest of the enterprise is required. To sustain the profit generating policy of the capacity of the enterprise is required. To search for and take advantage of opportunities for long range profitability. These are the things any investor in an organization will be looking at when he invests in an organization. Okay, employees require to have an ongoing, safe and secured job prospects inside the organization while they are working, to formulate fair and sound employment policies, to attract and retain qualified and competent employees, to encourage and inspire them to sharpen and utilize their knowledge and skills towards fulfillment of organizational and individual goals. Individual goals is nothing but a safe and secured working environment, long-term working environment. To motivate them, that means employees, to do their best by monetary and other incentives and to enhance their morale in general. Enlist employee cooperation and commitment to the organization. So suppliers required to deal fairly, ethically and legally with them, to establish sound business relations with them on a reciprocal basis. Both sides, reciprocal is nothing but that side and this side is expected from the supplier side. Competitors, to compete fairly and ethically. So competition should be fair and ethically. Government, to adhere to plan priorities. Priorities should be planned. To abide by the various rules and regulations set by the government. So the organization is expected to abide by the various rules and regulations that are in force from time to time. To pay taxes honestly and in time. So the organization is expected to pay taxes as required. To cooperate and collaborate with the government in various nation building activities. So these are the things covered in lesson 18. So you can ask, what do you mean by, or what is the role of corporate social responsibility? Okay, may get a question from lesson 18. Now to lesson 19, profit planning and forecasting. What do you mean by break-even analysis? Break-even analysis involves the study of revenues and costs of a firm in relation to its volume of sales and specifically the determination of that volume at which the firm's costs and revenues will be equal. That is, this is nothing but in a specific period of time when the cost of the organization and the revenue of the organization are equal. That means there is a no profit, no loss situation. That particular thing or volume at which the firm's cost and revenues will be equal is known as the analysis of break-even or break-even analysis. And the volume in which, the point in which the cost and revenue will be equal is called as the break-even point or known as BEP. That means level of sales at which the total revenue is equal, total cost of and the net income is equal to 0 is known as BEP. This is also known as no profit, no loss point, not less point, no loss, LOSS. So how to determine or find out break-even point? Break-even point is equal to fixed cost divided by contribution margin per unit. So there is an example, one given here. You can go through it. So BEP is equal to 10,000. That means fixed cost divided by 4 minus 2. 4 is the selling price per unit minus 2 is the variable cost per unit. So you will get contribution. 4 minus 2 is contribution, that is 2. So 10,000 divided by 2 is equal to 5,000 unit. 5,000 unit is the break-even point at which the total of revenue equals total of cost for a given period. So BEP is calculated. You can see the illustration down below where 5,000 into 4, that means selling price per unit. So 5,000 unit into 4 is 20,000. Variable cost is equal to 10,000 into 2, that is 20,000. So sales minus total cost is equal to 0 net profit. So these are the things covered in lesson 19. Now to lesson 20, managerial uses of break-even analysis. So it is not unit 6, it is under unit 5, managerial uses of break-even analysis, lesson 20. I am covering this. Now safety margin is equal to sales minus break-even point multiplied by 100 divided by sales. Volume needed to attain target profit is equal to target sales volume is equal to fixed cost plus target profit divided by contribution margin per unit. Okay. If variable cost changes, an increase in variable cost leads to a reduction in the contribution margin. Therefore, a common question which arises when increases in cost are expected or imminent is what sales volume do we need to maintain our present profit without any increase in price. Okay, make or buy decision. Many business firms often have the option of making certain components or ingredients which are part of their finished products. Example, nuts and bolts, screws, etc. Or purchasing them from outside suppliers. So suppliers will be there. You have to find the sourcing point and you can purchase the nuts and bolts, washer, etc. from suppliers instead of making it by the organization. So the make or buy decision has to be made by the business firms. For instance, an automobile manufacturer can make spark plugs or buy them. The break-even analysis can enable the manufacturer to decide whether to make or buy. These are the things covered in lesson 20, okay, and unit 5. Thank you very much. Happy learning.